Welcome back to Veterans Forum, a program by veterans, about veterans, for veterans and their families. I'm your co-host, Bob West, with Ray Chattery and Jerry Devlin. Our goal is to provide you important information on legislation, benefits, support, and activities for you and your family by interviewing leaders in our community. Jerry, who do we have with us today?
Tonight, Bob, we're very honored to have with us Master Sergeant Phoebe Larned, who is the rising star in Disney Belle Post 66 here in Bowie. She's the senior, the first vice commander, and she is herself an active duty military with the Army. She has 18 years of combination of National Guard and active duty, and of course National Guard are largely bearing the burden of our wars in the Middle East, so they are an extremely vital part of the community. She's a fairly new resident of Bowie, likes it here, originally from Littleton, Colorado, and we're really very, very happy to have a very outstanding leader of veterans here in Bowie, Master Sergeant Phoebe Larned.
Welcome, Phoebe.
Thank you.
We might as well get right started now. Where's the post located, and how do we get to be a member?
The post is located off of Old Bowie Laurel Road. It's right across the park over there. You can become a member several ways. There's membership through your service, having served in a wartime community, or you can be a Legion Rider. You can also serve as a SAL member, which means that you were a member of your family members served. Or
and
auxiliary.
SAL is for Sons of the American
Sons
Legion.
Of the American Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Or auxiliary, a daughter of the American Legion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you had mentioned a little bit earlier, you kind of showed us a brochure on still serving as as the 4 pillars of the American Legion, and I think we're going to show that now. And you want to tell us about the 4 pillars?
Yes, in 1919, the American Legion was founded on 4 pillars: the Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, National Security, Americanism, and Children and Youth.
Okay, and how do the post have programs that get involved in all those aspects of the American Legion?
Yes, these pillars encompass a variety of programs that benefit our nation's veterans and service members, their families, and the community.
And approximately how many members do you currently have at the post?
Currently, we stand at about 936, but it's rising.
So we have a really large post and an important post here in Maryland.
Yes.
And I didn't mention, Bob, they have a nationally ranked honor guard, and Phoebe is a new member of that, and they've brought a lot of esteem to Post 66 and winning national awards, so it's really a high-level operation.
And how long have you been a member of the post? I joined the post in 1997, but I'd like to caveat on the Honor Guard membership in that our commander recently also brought our junior Honor Guard members up. So it gives junior members in the Legion an opportunity to serve.
Well, that's always important, too, to bring in family members into the organization because it helps and strengthens the organization itself. The other thing that we've noticed is trying to get more women like yourself active in veterans organizations. So maybe you could tell our viewers why you became active in the American Legion.
Well, once I understood what they stood for and how much they do for our military family and the members, I realized it's an organization that I wanted to be a part of.
And when you're on duty, I assume that you talk about the American Legion while you're at work, too.
Absolutely. In fact, I recently received an award for being on the Honor Guard, and I posted on my desk.
Well, that's wonderful. We hope to get more women involved in all of our veterans organizations.
She's actually a twofer because it's one of our goals in all the veterans organizations is, one, to have more women and more younger veterans, and obviously she qualifies in both important categories.
And we need to encourage more to get involved too, because as we get older and get set out to pasture, we need other people to kind of fill in as we did with the World War II guys.
One thing that's a very misnomer, a lot of people think that the American Legion, the VFWs, of course, they have more post homes than we do. The DAV only has one in Maryland. But we're not a bunch of guys sitting around the bar telling old war stories. Our post homes is where we gather them for meeting places. This is where we have service, and this is where we raise our money in order to provide service for veterans and the hospitals and the community and such. Like I know that the VFW and DAV, we've given quite a bit to the Bowie Food Bank here, pantry here at the community church, and so that's one thing that a lot of people have. They think that we're a local pub. Well, we're not. It's a local meeting place, and they raise the money. It's same with the Legion.
And the American Legion plays a very, very big role in lobbying at Annapolis for legislation that benefits the veterans, and of course their youth activities and their baseball leagues. There's hardly an organization in America that's more socially useful than the American Legion.
Right.
And for example, as many of us, the 1944 Veterans Readjustment Act, which is the grandfather of all GI bills, this was primarily an American Legion. They thought it up and they lobbied it through. Oddly enough, which is not one of our finest hours in the DAV opposed the GI Bill in 1940, the educational benefits.
Well, I remember as a kid, I mean, the Little League had, I was on the Little League team, and the American Legion sponsored a team, so did the VFW. So it's important to be active in the community, and we're fortunate to have an American Legion that still is.
Right.
The American Legion also participates in veterans' funerals, memorials, Veterans Day at the park. We award 4 $1,500 scholarships, college scholarships each year, and present both the Junior ROTC and ROTC awards, sponsoring both Club Scouts and Boys Scouts troops, and send several high school seniors to Boys State.
Well, that was another thing that's really important too, is Boys State, because we hear a lot about the boys going down there and really enjoying that experience down there.
They also have the Girls State.
Girls State. My granddaughter was part of that in St. Mary's County.
I was involved with the Boys State in 1962, 63, and 64 when they met at the University of Maryland. The Marines, the Marine officer selection we were the drill instructors, and we helped the Legionnaires put on Boys State there, and it was a very outstanding program where the kids really learned government. It was really good.
And Post 66 has a big voice and at the department level in the American Legion. And J.D. Larson, who's a local Bowie resident, is on his way to being state commander. I think he's probably a year or two away.
Right.
But Disney Bell speaks. They have a large membership, and they're active and they're respected.
Some of you may be wondering why Ray has his cap on tonight. He's representing the DAV as our local post commander. So he'll be talking too about some of the events that's going to be coming forth from the DAV. So Phoebe, I know you brought a schedule of events that will be coming up in the not too distant future from the American Legion, and we're going to have it up on the screen. So you might want to go over and highlight some of the things that are going to be coming up in the not too distant future.
Well, in the top part of that, it talks about our monthly meetings, but towards the bottom of that form, you'll see that we have a big event coming up. The SAL is sponsoring the 16th annual SAL Car Show. That's on September 17th. And then we have several dinners coming up. The first Friday of every month, the Honor Guard posts steak night, and that's always a big event. We also have shrimp. On Tuesdays, we also have a dinner that our SAL sponsors. And then on the second Friday of each month, the auxiliary is going to host a dinner.
And not only is it a good time to meet your fellow members, but we encourage others to come over and find out more about what the American Legion is actually doing.
It really promotes the family atmosphere that the American Legion fosters. And
that's important. In a not too distant future, we'll have Christmas, and you have Toys for Tots that you support with the
Yes.
Marines. And I've always noticed that half the reception area at the Legion is filled with toys, thousands of dollars worth of toys, and it's all donated by the local members and others, and given to young people in Bowie.
actually, I think one of our biggest events is the 4th of July picnic. It was a huge success this year.
And that's another event for the families to get out and
Yes,
enjoy
it is
the American
open to the
Legion.
local community.
Are you going to do your turkey shoots again this year?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a really big event. So you have it on Sundays, right?
Yes, every Sunday morning we
Right.
host the turkey shoots.
Right.
And if you just want to come out and have breakfast, they have breakfast available too before the turkey shoot.
Yes, thanks to our auxiliary, we usually have breakfast as well.
Is there anything else on the schedule you might like to bring up?
That's pretty much in the near future. What
What's
we
your
have
meeting
coming.
date, Phoebe?
Our
Right, monthly meeting. What?
Our monthly meeting dates for the general host is on the 3rd Wednesday of every month.
And it's at 7:30.
Yes, 7:30.
Okay, so if you're interested, stop in, and you'll be more than welcome to see what's going on and become a member, an active member of the American Legion. So Ray, what's happening at the DAV?
Well, unfortunately, this is going to air before we have our seafood feast this coming Saturday, and of course, with all the hurricane things, we just hope we can beat the weather. But the biggest thing we have coming up is our golf tournament. That'll be on Monday, September the 19th. It's our 23rd annual golf tournament, and all of the proceeds that we raise is for the Forget Me Not program. All of the proceeds, every penny goes to service for veterans. Not one penny is used to buy a paper clip or anything. It's really great. And we've already earmarked $1,800 of that money, and we'll probably have to raise it because when we passed this about 3 or 4 months ago, it was before we realized that Bethesda was going to be, Walter Reed was actually going to be at Bethesda for this holiday season. So we'll probably have to raise that. And the $1,800 is to pay for the staff and the patients for Christmas dinner. And it's completely catered, and it's a really great event because they just they don't have the facilities there, and so the DAV is going to pay for it through the Marines Helping Marines program this year.
And that's an important program, the Marines Helping Marines.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, Tony is probably one of the biggest promoters of that program.
Right.
And the DAV is very much involved in that program.
Now, one thing about the patients at Walter Reed, they're eligible for the American Legion, the VFW, Disabled American Veterans, and the Marines or Marine Corps League, and the Navy Corpsmen that's been with the FMF are eligible also for the Marine Corps League. So that's why that we are very, very active up there, and almost all the service organizations go to Bethesda. It's going to be a one-stop now. We don't have to split our time between Walter Reed and Bethesda, but since by the 15th of September, I think the whole move is going to have been completed.
One of the other things that's important is you don't have to be a member of our organizations to get support.